Worried that having kids is going to change you? It will, but for the better when you allow it. I am not the same girl that I was 5 years ago when I was pregnant with my first, and praise God for that. There was a time where I was like butting up against the saturation of motherhood, and I was trying in every way to figure out how to find a break and how to just have a break. We were having so much going on in our life, and I think I was letting motherhood become the problem instead of realizing that motherhood is the gift and the opportunity to be sanctified, which means to be transformed, to be made more like Christ. Allowing motherhood to be that sanctification and just surrender to it instead of being like, this is the one that's the problem. Because my children are a blessing, and children are a blessing, and life is hard, and motherhood is hard. I'm not going to shy away from that. But like I said, it's a sanctification process. You're becoming more like Christ, and I'm not the same girl I was 5 years ago. And yeah, praise God for that. I'm so much more confident. I'm so much more grace-filled, empathetic. I have so much more wisdom. I'm so much more like aware of others and aware of the Lord and his love for us. There's just so much beauty that can come when we surrender to it. And there are hard circumstances that we cannot change that are just in general hard. And those are not what I'm talking about. But just the day-to-day life of motherhood, when we feel like we're constantly needing a break, or we're constantly like frustrated and rushing and mothering out of urgency instead of out of peace, that's when I have to check my heart and be like, okay, what am I doing? Am I surrendering to this saturation and sanctification of motherhood, or am I resisting it because I want something easier? And that's hard. That's really hard, because our flesh does not want to pick up our cross daily and follow the Lord, but that's what we're called to do. And so it will change you if you allow it to change you for the better, and if you allow the Lord to use motherhood and having children to show you where you need to be more like Christ. And it's a beautiful, wonderful gift. And our children are tangible, real life evidence of God's grace and goodness for us. And they are just such a blessing and such a gift. And I still have my days where I get overwhelmed and overstimulated and struggle. So don't hear me and think that I'm over here perfect and surrendered to it and just living this life. But I have found that things just operate better when I'm just surrendered to it and allowing the Lord to transform me in the way that he wants me to.